I'll make the motion. We approve as submitted.
Second. All in favor?
Aye.
It's carried. Our first hearing today is case DRB 2021-29. It's a request for a certificate of appropriateness to demolish the commercial buildings located at 221 West Darlington Street, tax map number 90086-01012, located in the D2 Downtown Overlay District. I can have the staff give us a report.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. Thank you, members of the board. The applicant is requesting a certificate of appropriateness to demolish the commercial buildings located at 221 West Darlington Street. The vicinity map shows that the commercial property is located in the 200 block of West Darlington Street between North Court Street and North Irving Street. The location map identifies the property address as 221 West Darlington Street. The current zoning map shows that the property is on activity center, surrounded by commercial general to the south, campus to the north, and activity center properties to the east and the west. The activity center is intended for mixed-use development outside of the commercial business district. And these are site photos of the property. Picture to the far right is the garage where they did auto repairs. Picture to the far left is a picture of the vacant office building. And the bottom picture is a closer view of the vacant office building. According to the design guidelines, I'm not gonna read every detail. The historic significant character of the property should be retained and preserved. The request is for a complete demolition of the commercial property garage and foundation. New additions and adjacent or related new construction should be undertaken in such a manner to remove in the future the essential form and integrity of the original property and its environment would be unrepaired, not applicable to this project. Landscaping should be added that enhances the property and provides for green space and appropriate buffering between land uses. Upon complete demolition of the property and foundation, the bare soil will be vegetated, stabilized, and maintained by a property owner for construction of a fueling station and convenience store. The applicant plans to start construction during the first quarter of 2022. And that concludes staff report.
Anyone have any questions, staff? Anyone here to speak on this matter? Close. Put it up for a vote.
I'll make a motion that we approve the request for appropriateness for the demolition of the building.
All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion carries. Certificate will be issued. Next case is DRB 2021-30. Request for a certificate of appropriateness to install signage on a parcel located at 615 South Dargan Street, tax map number 90088-08003, located in the D3 Arts and Culture Overlay District. Staff?
Thank you, Mr. Chairman, members of the board. I had talked to the applicant earlier within this week, and they decided to defer the case until next DRB meeting.
So we will move this to our November meeting, guys. Moving along, our next case is DRB 2021-31, request for a certificate of appropriateness to change out the windows and doors, the house located at 407 West Pine Street, tax map number 900741111, located in the D4 Timrod Park Overlay District.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. The applicant is requesting to change out the windows and doors for the house located at 407 West Pine Street. The vicinity map confirms that the property is located in the 400 block of West Pine Street. The location map identifies that the address of the property is 407 West Pine Street. The zoning map shows that the property is on neighborhood conservation 6.2, surrounded by commercial reuse to the east. The side photos includes, this is pretty much the front door of the property to the left. And the proposed steel door the applicant wants to install. The proposed 6-panel steel door matches the same type of style as the front door of the property. These are site photos of the property. Picture to the left are the previously wooden windows, and picture to the right are the replacement vinyl windows. As I stated in the staff report, the applicant mentioned that the wooden windows were all damaged and decided to replace the windows before getting approval from the design review board. These are other pictures of the wooden windows and the vinyl windows. According to the design guidelines, the historic and significant character of the property should be retained and preserved. The wooden windows have been replaced by vinyl windows, and the existing wooden door is being replaced by a metal door. The metal door matches the same style as the wooden door. When appropriate, the architectural details, color, materials, and textures should be compatible with the style and character of the surrounding buildings and structures. The window frames will remain white, as were the original windows. Color for the door be white. This concludes staff report.
Anyone have any questions of staff? Okay, is anyone here to speak on this case? Having no one, I'll close the session and we'll put it up for.
I'd like to comment.
Yes, sir.
The first two under the staff analysis, and what we as a board are required to do is maintain the architectural character of these neighborhoods and these houses, and the windows are a very important part of this house. And the grid pattern that's installed now is not appropriate to the historical context of the building. I mean, I applaud the owner for redoing it, and but I have a problem and would like to see. I would think that he could just replace the sashes with either, it looks like there's 6/1. There's some 3/1s that were original, and those are all, what would have been part of the historical character of the house. I hate to put undue hardship financially on someone who's trying to redo it. The door, I think, is fine, but the windows are kind of a glaring. They don't fit. Of course. So that's my only comment.
Any other?
What are the city's thoughts on that?
Sorry to hear you.
What are the city's thoughts on that?
Well, like I said earlier, the previous wooden windows were damaged. That's what the applicant told me. So he just took it upon himself to replace the windows with vinyl windows.
And I think we did point that out in the staff report.
You did, yeah.
That some of the windows were 6/6, and I believe in looking at it, some were of different nature. They were of the old wooden type, true divided light. I know vinyl windows, you can get them with inserts or muntins or different things to go into the glass to give it that look. So I guess it would be at the board's discretion whether it should be a true divided light window or put in place vinyl windows that could give the appearance of the old historic structure. Of course, with modern technology comes efficiency of the home and energy efficiency. But at the same time, I do agree that, some historic, I guess, some of the historic characteristics of the house are lost when you put in 1/1 light. A window.
Yes, question. Are the two pictures on the top, the street elevations, I assume? I don't think there was.
Yes, that's from the street view.
Yes, yeah.
Jerry, with your inserts, would that provide the same view as the wooden window?
I mean, from the street view, I think it would. I guess, and some of my construction guys on the board here could probably fill in, but typically the glass has sandwiched, the divided light in between, because of the new energy efficient windows have the two panes of glass with the gas in between it for energy efficiency, and they're typically sandwiched in, whereas these old windows, are true divided light where you have the small individual panes. So, I guess the look of it would appear the same, but upon inspection, it would be obviously very different.
I mean, at the least, I would like, from a construction background, if it's a double hung window, it's just ordering a new sash. It's not taking out the whole window and replacing the whole window. It's just ordering. If we just do the front, it's 4 new sashes. If it's a double hung window, it is more cost, but just do GBG.
Just on the roadside.
Well, I would do the whole house, but I mean, like I said, I'm not. I don't want to call it something undue hardship, but
They didn't ask ahead of time.
and I understand most people don't realize when they're doing a house that they have to. So
Cost wise, Jay, do you have an idea of what it would?
I don't know what kind of windows they are. Maybe less than $200 a sash. And it's, keep going with what he's doing, and whenever they come in, pop them out, pop them in. Nobody's here to speak on it. I mean, again, that's kind of what I feel our mission is to keep the historical nature of these. And I had no problem with the vinyl windows. I mean, that's fine.
I'll put that to motion, Jack.
Make the motion that we request, or I don't know what the word is, Jerry, ask the applicant to replace the four street side windows with the appropriate historical grid patterns as 6/1. Well, it looks like they were 6/6.
I think they're 6/6. I think they're just right.
I know it didn't sound right, Jamie,
No,
but
you're
you know the intent of what I was trying to say.
You're okay with the door as
I
presented?
think the door's fine.
Yes, second. All in favor?
I
Issue the certificate. Okay. Next case is public hearing DRB 2021-25. A request for a certificate of appropriateness to change out the windows and doors for the building located at 257 North Coit Street, tax map number 90073, 05005 located in the D2 Downtown Overlay District. Staff?
Good afternoon, everybody. All right, so this is 257 West Arlington Street. It is in the redevelopment overlay district. I'm sorry, the downtown central overlay district. I apologize. Here's the location map. It's the corner of West Arlington Street and North Coit Street. It's currently actually zoned urban residential. They're going through city council now to get it rezoned to destination select use. Historically, it's been Jack's Seafood Market and also Missy's Cafe. So in keeping with the built structure and what it has been historically, we think that there was just an error when it was zoned back in 2018 with the Unified Development Ordinance. So it did pass first reading and it will go through second reading next month to officially have commercial uses at that building. So in the meantime, he wants to do a little bit of work to the building. So here is some site photos. This is, you can still see where it says Jack's Fish Market. The building was built in 1935. It's approximately 1,600 square feet. Just some of the site photos. You can see kind of in the front, it's been cobbled together with a few different materials. It has historically been a restaurant. So here's a rendering of what the applicant would like to do, add some windows to the front, as well as some brickwork. We don't yet have samples of the brick. He wants to use a red brick. It sounds like nothing out of the ordinary, but right now we don't officially have samples. And then I have a picture of the window that they want to use. Again, no details beyond this picture, but they do want to put windows in the front to provide more light. The design guidelines, chapter 3, and it talks about the importance of maintenance, restoration, and careful adaptive reuse of existing historic buildings. Now, when it talks about exterior wall cladding, the current building does appear to have wooden panels, concrete block, and also stucco over concrete block. And the exterior is a few different colors, sky blue, white, navy, and crimson. Paint colors, it talks a little bit about the varying brick color that you find in the downtown area. So it kind of runs the gamut on colors as long as it is matched with some sort of earth toned paint. No painting is being proposed right now, but the bricks would definitely be a step in the right direction compared to all the colors that they have up now. And then when it talks about storefronts, building fronts, it talks about using large expanses of glass to be inviting and let the light in. So, and that is what they are proposing to do is adding windows to the space. Prohibited materials included. Some of those are existing on the building. It appears to have wooden clapboard siding, heavily textured stucco, and so this new proposed brick facade, a lot of what's been added over the years. And again, no samples have been provided yet, but he did say that he wanted to use a red brick color. So that does conclude staff's report.
Anyone have any questions of staff? Anyone here speak on the matter? Close the hearing now.
I'll make a motion to accept as submitted with the city's approval of the brick.
Second.
All in favor? This next case, did we have anything in our packet for?
Mcleod Alley.
Yeah.
210 Mcleod Alley.
Mhm.
They should be included in the packet.
Okay, I didn't see it. So we'll go ahead and let you present it. Next case is DRB 2021-28, a request for a certificate of appropriateness to construct an accessory building on the parcel located at 210 Mcleod Alley tax map number 9008807-032, located in the D1 redevelopment overlay district.
All right.
Zach?
Thank you, sir. So this is a 210 Mcleod Alley. Gilbert Construction is requesting that they put up another principal building on this site for storage of construction equipment. So here's the site. It's between Mcleod Alley, which is where it fronts, and you can see on the aerial there's an existing building, and they want to put the new building to the south, closer to Dejean Street. I'm actually not sure the pronunciation Dejean Street. That's what I've been calling it. So here's a location map. You can see it a little bit closer. And it is in the redevelopment overlay district. Currently a zoned activity center. And here are some site photos. The photo on the left, that's the front. You can see the existing metal building with the 3 roll-up doors and just some construction equipment on the site currently. And then the south side of the parcel, this is what will be affected by the construction of the new building on Dejean Street. And they are proposing putting up a buffer yard to screen the new construction. All right, so setbacks for their second principal building, they'll just need to maintain 10 feet on the side, and they will have adequate space for the rear setback of 40 feet. Also, the maximum height of the building, 38, they're looking to construct a 14-foot tall metal building. So here's a site plan. You can see the proposed building to the south of the existing building. They also have a landscape area to the south, which they're proposing to be a type B buffer yard, as spelled out by the Unified Development Ordinance. And they also want to put in a stone parking area as a driveway, which will lead to Dejean, which will be and they also have a construction entrance as well for the moving back and forth with the construction equipment. So here's just some elevations of the building, what it's going to look like. The 3 roll-up doors will face the proposed stone parking area, and then you'll have the 2 personnel doors on the side. And the proposed color is this polar white, which will be the wall and the trim color. So for the design guidelines, the proposed new construction will be a steel building with polar white wall and trim to complement the existing building, which is light beige and trimmed with brown. The proposed building could be removed in the future, and it would preserve the integrity of the original property if they so choose. The height, the Unified Development Ordinance caps the height of the principal building at 38 feet. This building will be 14 feet in height. And again, they have proposed a vegetative screening to block it from the street right of way. The proposed storage building will have 3 large overhead roll-up metal doors facing east and 2 personnel entrance doors, 1 on the north and 1 on the south, which is pretty close to the door configuration that they have on their existing building. And then the visual relationship between buildings or structures shall be compatible with adjacent buildings. It will be to the rear of the property and approximately 35 feet south of the existing metal building. And it will only be visible from the east side of the property, which is also a commercial building. And then it will be screened in every other direction. Landscaping to the south, they have a stand of trees to the west and the existing metal building to the north. The roof has a very gentle slope and will be flat compared to the existing building. The landscape in the type B buffer yard, it's 10 feet wide, and it requires a minimum of 2 canopy trees, 2 understory trees, 2 evergreen trees, and 20 shrubs per 100 linear feet of buffer yard. And they're looking at about a 75-foot long buffer yard. And it will be of similar size and construction as the existing. I believe the existing is about 3,000 square feet, and this one will be around 1,800. And again, it's going to be the polar white that I showed you a little bit earlier. And that does conclude staff's report.
Anyone have any questions of staff?
Do we know whether it's going to be fenced? Is there fencing?
There
Part of
is no fencing proposed. I believe they have fencing for the principal building in the front. But that might be something good to ask the applicant if they're gonna put in fencing.
Any other questions of staff? Anyone here to speak on this case?
Yes.
Step up to the podium here and state your name.
Storm Page of Gilbert Construction. It's really just a basic storage building for some of the materials that we have on site now. We need to get them out of the weather before they deteriorate and they're not good anymore. And about the fencing, we have not proposed to put up a fence. They had started putting up a fence on that property some time ago and never finished it. That's something that we could look into if you would like us to, but we were going to take that fence back down.
No, we've just been, Jerry, would the fence ordinance come into play here?
It would, in that area, chain link fence would definitely be discouraged. But, and if a fence was put up, it would need to be of quality material and we'd probably bring that back to the board for approval for a fence.
No, I didn't want you to put a chain link fence up and then somebody complain about it and
No,
have to take it
we're
down.
gonna
So,
take this post back up.
okay.
Anyone have any questions? Sean?
So what was the end result there? Because you're taking the equipment out of the weather and it's gonna probably look a lot better. Do you need the fence?
No, we did not.
So are we saying we're gonna take?
No, we're good as long, I just didn't want to build a fence and then it not comply with the ordinance. So,
All questions, we'll go ahead and close case for discussion.
I'll make the motion, we approve your certificate of appropriateness for the building as submitted.
I'll second.
Motion and a second, all in favor?
Aye.
Motion carries. Thanks. Our next case for public hearing is DRB 2021-32. A request for a certificate of appropriateness to remove 3 trees from the lot located at 703 Park Avenue, tax map number 90064040011, located at the D4 Timrod Overlay District. Staff?
Good afternoon.
Good afternoon.
All right, the applicant is requesting to remove 3 mature trees from the front of his house at the corner of Waters Avenue and Park Avenue, and it is on the edge of the Timrod Park Overlay District. It is in a residential area and it's across from First Presbyterian Church. This is an aerial of the lot and the X's are where the mature trees are that he would like to remove. They're right up next to the house, and as indicated, one of the trees fell back in July and just narrowly missed the house. And the trees look like they're post-mature, and he is concerned about them falling on the house. So he would like to remove those 3, but he would leave the others on the lot that are up near the right of way. And he would mitigate that by planting some more trees in their place. On the left is a photo of the fallen tree, and you can see the size of the trees that he wants to remove. And then you can see in the middle picture, and then from the one on the right, the tree is up against the right of way, which will be remaining. And the picture on the left, again, is a picture of the mature trees that would be taken down. And the one on the right is, again, looking down the side of the house. And those are the trees that he wants to remove. And then he would be replacing them with 2 of the alley elm on the left, 1 of the oak in the middle, and 2 of the redbud on the right. So that concludes staff's report.
Anyone have any questions of staff? Speak on this matter.
And the Timrod Park Neighborhood Association did contact me and said they did not have a problem with this.
We'll give you an opportunity.
Also, the 2 trees, 2 main trees that I'm requesting to remove now are Darlington oaks. They were more than likely installed at the, when the home was built in 1940. And like most folks know, the Darlington oaks don't have too long of a lifespan. They're starting to die out the top, and the other one obviously had some root rot and whatever. And then there's an additional magnolia right adjacent to the one Darlington oak that's busting at the sidewalk and causing some damage there. So I want to remove that, and then all the trees and a few others will be added to the front yard.
Any questions, Glenn? We'll close the hearing. Is that a motion?
I make a motion to approve as submitted.
Second. Got a motion and a second. All in favor?
Aye.
Motion carries. Okay, our last case today is DRB 2021-33. Request for a certificate of appropriateness to install signage on the building located at 237 North Dorgan Street, tax map number 90086030005, located in the H1 Historic Overlay District. Staff?
This is the parcel located on the corner of West Darlington and North Dargan Street. It is zoned Central Business District and is in the Historic Overlay District. Business signage, as we're very familiar with, generally requires either wood or metal or the high-density preformed foam or similar material, and preferably that it be 3-dimensional. This is the building that the applicant is renting. She's leasing the space on the left. It's Thompson's Barber Shop on the right, and then she'll have her salon on the left. And she just wants to put up some signage. Right now, she's proposing putting one on the front that faces North Dargan Street, which would be the lower photos. But in the future, she might put one over the side door, which is actually where people will be coming in on the parking lot. And this is what the sign materials are and what the signs would look like. They'd be 30 by 84 inches roughly, roughly 21 square feet, which is within the square footage limit for wall signs in the Central Business District. And made of plastic with routed out letters. So the, I believe they will be dimensional, have a little bit of dimension to them. But they will be in these colors and the marine grade plastic. And the applicant is here if you have any questions for her.
Do we have any questions of staff?
Elaine, can you say somewhere that it didn't meet all of the requirements? Was there, what is it that it doesn't meet?
The colors, I think, is the main concern, and the fact that it's plastic, not the foam. There are some permitted signs in downtown that are made out of vinyl or plastic, and not all of them are fully dimensional. But we felt that because of the colors that that needed y'all's review.
And the original submittal we received, was it just a flat printed sign? I believe this is an updated sign,
It
is that
is,
right? It
yes.
has some routed letters or some dimension to it. So the original submittal that's within the report, I think was just a printed flat sign, whereas this one has a bit of dimension.
Yeah, and I just got that a couple days ago.
Do you have any questions of staff? Any other questions?
So what are the guidelines for color? Or is it subjective to?
I think it's subjective. I mean, I think we've always allowed pops of color and signs. I mean, you know, in the historic district, a lot of the actual building colors are recommended to be earth tones, kind of dull, you know. As I tell folks often, you know, if it's a boring color, we might can administratively approve it, you know, but the pops of color should come from awnings and signage. So I think some color in a sign or some color pop in a sign is fine, or meets the guidelines.
No other questions, staff? Anyone here to speak on the matter? Okay, you want to come up to the podium and state your name?
My name is Rhonda Wingate. I was having like a lot of problems trying to find someone to actually do a sign with dimensional, but I reached out to someone in Columbia and I found a guy who has his own company, and I took a picture of the sign of the loft. And she was telling me about looking at different signs downtown, and those are already in the guidelines and those are already approved for downtown. So he told me he can do it like the loft, and the letters are gonna be like kind of like built into the sign itself, and they just gonna paint.
Any questions from us? Okay.
Would we, so the second sign, would we include that, or would she need to come back and ask?
Well, we wanted to include it in this one in case she, so to save her a return trip, since it would be the exact same
It would be
sign.
the same size, same thing, okay.
Yeah. If anything, it would be a little bit smaller, but it would be the same design.
It is, the other one would have been flat, and then the newer one would have been, it was with glitter, but I guess outdoor, they made it waterproof. So he said with waterproof, they had to just go with the colors.
Any other questions from Ms. Wingate? Okay, we'll close the case and put it up for a motion.
These are, something like the racetrack type sign where it sits out. And it's, is it? Okay.
I'll make the motion that we approve the sign as submitted.
Second. All in favor? Certificate will be issued. That's our last case today, guys. Our next scheduled hearing will be on November 10th at 2 p.m. 2021 here. Jerry has nothing else for us for adjourn.
I just wanted to mention that we are still going through the comprehensive planning process. We have organized an advisory council for that. Our last meeting with the advisory council is here in a couple of weeks. After that, we should get down to where we get a draft version of the comprehensive plan. And once, I guess, staff's had a chance to review it and we make any revisions, we'll send the next draft out likely to the boards and commissions and folks, and soon after that for public consumption and review. We hope to have that adopted by the first of the year in 2022. We're also going through we've hired Kendi Keast as well to do a new downtown master plan, and we're going through that process as well. And so we'll keep you up to date on that as well, and would love to maybe set up some time or maybe plug some of you guys into that process along the way. So do you want to speak to that?
Yeah, I had one, also as a part of that downtown master plan and some of the things that we're doing downtown with the project across the street, you do not have to approve this project, which is the new parking deck that the city will be building. But historically, we have brought these projects to the board for just out of respect and allowing you all to take a look and provide any comments. So that will be coming next month as well.
And that's it. There were a lot of cases today. I appreciate everyone's time.
I thought we were bringing in something.
Right.
Thank you.